Man, I can't believe I bought two of these things. I think sometimes you guys send in recommendations for, requests for me to review stuff, and you just want to see if I'll do it. And I fell for it twice. One of these came from Bangood. They're identical kits. I can't remember which is which, but one came from Bangood, and with shipping, everything is around 20 bucks. The other one came from Amazon. Same thing, around 20 bucks shipped. As I said, these are identical kits, and I can't even begin to pronounce that. I do know that on both Bangood and on Amazon, they don't show great pictures of these. Otherwise, I would have known they were identical. And they just were so different in the pictures that I fell for it. 20 bucks. I got 40 bucks invested in this. All right, let's take a look at this. This is another kit. I've got to say, I'm pretty disappointed in it. All right, let's just start at the beginning. You get 4 blue-handled picks. I think they are picks. They are L-shaped. They are bent into an L shape, and they've got a different number of bumps on them, different kind of rakes. I have never seen an L-shaped keyway, but I would imagine that's what this is for. That's probably to guide it down the side of a very wide keyway to position those bumps at exactly the right place beneath the pins. As I said, I've never come across, I've traveled all around the world, I've never come across a lock like that. So I can only imagine that these 4 probably only work on a certain kind of locks that perhaps you find in China. Maybe someday I'll get there and I'll be able to do a video on a lock like that. I don't know. The rest of these are all Dimple lock picks of different types. First of all, you get 2 identical flags. One of them is misshapen. I took a quick look. I think it's this one. A little misshapen, but the flags, they're exactly the same length. They're exactly the same size, so I can't imagine why you get 2 of them. But maybe it's because one of them is slightly misshapen. I really don't know. 20 bucks. I mean, just the brass handles, if you can find some way to recover those, would be worth that. These guys are interesting. They are identical, but they are mirror images of each other. Practically, the bump here is in a slightly different position, but you'll notice the little cutout here with a little, again, I imagine this is for spacing, to place that little spring-loaded clip on the end of there exactly above some type of interactive element in the back of a lock. And then these little bumps are probably just to rake with. I can't imagine what kind of lock these would be used for, but obviously they come with opposing pins. In terms of rakes, you get a double, you get a triple, and then you get a saw blade. So all you need to do is sharpen that up and you can cut all the plywood you want. No, seriously, this probably would be a pretty good rake on pin tumbler locks. Again, the lock doesn't care. So that would probably work pretty good. Let's see what else we got here. Out of this entire kit, we're starting to come to what I would classify as useful stuff. You get 3, and I'll pull all 3 of these out. You get 3 Dimple lock picks. Now, this guy, let me set those down. This guy's really useful for normal Dimple locks. It's really hard to make a Dimple lock rake, and this is one of the few that seem to be pretty well shaped. I have one. Here we go. This is one that I put in my own kit with some modifications. It's an identical pick, and all I did was grind this down a lot narrower, as you can see, but the curves in the middle are all the same. And that's because it's so fat. I have never been able to find a Dimple lock, especially if it's got warding, that you can squeeze this into. But if you file that down like I did mine, then you can fit into a wider number of locks. I find this quite useful on simple Dimple locks. These 2 guys are made for Kaba locks. I also have some of these. I don't have them handy, but I ground them down exactly the same way. I narrowed them down sideways. These are really hard to make as well, but if you're going to be messing around with Kaba locks, these are quite useful. There's a lot less play. In other words, a lot less distance between the steps in the bitting on Kaba locks. So while this may not look like much of a dimple for Kabas, it's more than enough, provided you can get it in the keyway. That's why I filed them all the way down. Over here, we get 2 of these little thumb turns. Again, these are real unique locks, unique picks. This is a double-sided dimple, so a lot of Chinese locks have a dual row of dimples, and this lets you kind of oscillate back and forth between the 2 of them. I have never found a use for these. What I usually do is grind one side off and then shorten it, and then that makes either a right flag or a left flag. They do give you a left flag. Again, this is a huge one, but again, with a little bit of filing, making curved flags is not an easy thing, but by grinding this down and sizing it appropriately, be a lot more useful. I like these two picks because, again, there's your left flag, you file the left side off here, that gives you a right flag, and you size them, and you can easily carry these two in your pocket, everything you need to SPP Dimple locks. You get a couple of Z-wrenches. These are practically identical. I've seen these too many times before. There must be one manufacturer of these in China. One side they're identical thicknesses, one side is identical lengths, and the other side is just a little bit longer than the other. That's the only difference between these two. $20 is $20 wasted. I mean, unless you're looking to get these are not so easy to get. But if you've already got a set of these, I wouldn't waste $20 trying to get this. I would stop looking around for a bargain, because then you got $20 worth of useless junk lying on your bench. Even the case is not that great. Bargain hunters, I would urge you to stop looking for bargains and investing your money in these things. Instead, pick out a decent kit, quality tools, and you've only got to buy them one time. And I'll make a few recommendations here. None of these are advertisers. I don't get kickbacks. You can deal directly with the company and take me completely out of the loop. Take a look at you've heard me say this 1,000 times, Sparrow's Tuxedo or Tuxedo Royale. Both of those sell for about $27 US. If you want a little bit more advanced kit, take a look at the UK Bumpkeys Praxis kit. They have two warehouses, one in the UK, one I think it's in Florida. Check out the website's, the Lock Labs resource page, and the links to their warehouses there. Just go direct to them, and I think that one sells for around $45. It's a dual gauge kit, though. You actually get two sets of picks, one in 15 thousandths and the other in, I believe it's 23 thousandths. Great kit. I have several of them in my own pick set that I use all the time. Last one, if you deal with European locks, paracentric keyways, take a look at the Southward. It's called the C as in Charlie 801. If I remember, they call it I think it's the Slimline Euro kit. Sells for about $32, $33. All stainless steel, very tough stuff, and just won't break. It'll last you forever. And none of those kits have what I call fluff, useless picks in them. You'll be using every pick. Unlike this $20 pile of, well, actually $40 pile of junk that you're never going to use. So bargains are not always bargains. Anyway, there are those of you who would still like to have these, and I get it. There's the website. In the middle of the page, there's a purple bar. Click it, register, and if you're really unlucky, you'll be the winner of one of these two Zhengxi Jin Yi Dai Jian Niao Kui Kai kits. Good luck, guys, or maybe it's a curse. I really don't know. Appreciate your time. Stay safe. Stay legal.